Why has Lagway seemingly regressed? Now, people have came into our comments the last 2 weeks, earlier today and last week, saying we hyped up Lagway so much, and Lagway's just been purely abysmal. No other ways to put it here. And, people will go and point out his interceptions from last season. But the thing is, it's like Lagway's playing worse than he was last season. This isn't, if we were getting the same play from Lagway that we're getting last year, we'd be 3-0. We'd be ranked inside the top 7 at least, probably inside the top 5, which how some of these other teams have looked. Like, we would be considered one of the best teams in the country right now. But Lagway has just regressed, and it seems like there's probably 3 main factors to this. Rust. He hasn't. He's had like 4 weeks of practice now. Billy Napier said. 2, the injury. Is he still hurt? Napier said no. Some other things that kind of leads you to believe not so much. And 3, Billy Napier's coaching. I mean, there's the reason that our offense hasn't been explosive. Our offense hasn't been great at any point during the Napier tenure. So, there's kind of a big point to why Lagway has maybe been struggling.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at DJ, I kind of look at it in a few different ways, because I think there's the things that I look at him and I just don't think he's developed. I don't know if it's considerably worse, but like just in terms of reading the field, decision making, I think he's always struggled a little bit there. I think he's become less decisive. I think maybe he's regressed in that way, but I think overall, I just feel like it's just a lack of development. And then I think there is just straight up regression. I mean, he's missing throws, sailing throws that he didn't sail last year. Just making mistakes, holding onto the ball too long. Things that, say what you will about Lagway last year. Like, there were certainly ups and downs, but there was never Lagway would step up into the pocket and fire that ball downfield. And that just doesn't feel like the Lagway we've seen at all at any point in these 3 games. So yeah, I mean, I think, look, anytime
he did not slide. He was not sliding.
Yeah, and that's another thing, man. Like, I don't want to get too far like on a tangent, but like he just looks uncomfortable. Like, he doesn't know what to do when he's running the ball. He doesn't have a good feel for where things are coming from and where the holes are going to be. Like, it's just everything just looks very labored, very uncomfortable from him. And I think it's a function of a few things. I mean, like you said, I think rust. I mean, not only rust because it's his, like you said, 4th week of practice, but rust in the sense that, like, this is a guy that just really hasn't played a ton of football. I mean,
no,
he started 6 games last year. Was it even
7?
Okay, 7.
He was 6-1. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so yes, I mean 7 games last year. One of which he gets hurt pretty early in, and then has the 3 this year where he's kind of been on something of a pitch count at almost, or like the first 2 games at least it felt like that. So it's just like, I think he just needs more reps. I think this staff has not developed him particularly well. I think he just feels really uncomfortable and is just doing some things, like I said earlier, just mechanically that just look really out of sorts and out of the ordinary for what we saw last year. Because I don't really think there were a lot of mechanical problems he had last year. It looked pretty good. Ball looked pretty good coming out of his hands. So
yeah, it was a lot of just a short decision making and not checking down enough, which now all he does is check down. So he overcorrected there, it seems.
Yeah. It almost is like he's playing in his head too much. Was like too, it's like, I think overcorrected on some of the decision-making stuff. And now there's just like almost a legitimate, either a fear to go downfield or then like a shocking level of recklessness going downfield, just airing it out into triple coverage for no reason. It's concerning. I mean, I think he's a talented player. Look, if I had to put my money on it, whether this is a Billy Napier thing or a Lagway thing, I think I'd be willing to bet DJ Lagway plays good college football someday, whether it's here or elsewhere. I think that's probably where I'd be willing to bet. But I mean, this is, it's not just, it is a lack of development, but it's not just a lack of development. Like, it is a straight up regression.
This is not true. A&M, Lagway was never A&M bound. Almost A&M bound also. I mean, because his final 3 were even Florida, USC, and Clemson. Like, I mean, not saying he won't go to A&M if he enters the transfer portal this year, which still isn't a given, by the way. But yeah. And right here, tunnel vision. He was staring down those in slant routes when he threw those interceptions. Like two of them, I think, were clear. He was looking at his target directly from the snap. And the safety, what was his name? Who I think pretty sure got both of the picks.
Halsey.
Yeah, AJ Halsey, I think was.
Yeah.
Read it like a book and got those 2 picks easy, maybe 2 easiest picks of his career. So there's just so many things that we're watching Lagway do that he didn't do last year. And maybe it's the injury, it's also maybe it's coaching that's led him array here, but it's not looking good for us and looking good for the future of the season.
No, I mean, I think, you and I were both optimistic coming into this year. I think we liked the roster. I think we both thought the roster had some pretty good talent. But I think the main reason, I think if you tell you and I, like, hey, a lot of this stuff is going to be good, but DJ is going to be a real problem, I don't think either of us would have had very high expectations for the season. So,
Rob, maybe hear me out. Lagway is a true sophomore, and he is going through the ups and downs. Hey, maybe.
To an extent.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Josh Allen. He had 5 interceptions in a game at Wyoming against a pretty bad team. Like, sometimes you have those bad games and you go through those bad stretches, and maybe it's because of Napier. Maybe it's because of the play calling. I felt like they spread. I thought the play calling was actually not that bad. Like, I thought, we could have ran the ball a bit more. I mean, we threw the ball 49 times. It's also like you're playing from behind, and it felt like we had the ball the entire game against LSU as well. So that was that felt different than the entire Napier tenure. I can't lie, but maybe just going through his ups and downs. When Billy gets fired, it's going to be interesting to see, how the offense looks differently. I mean, is there a world where Billy gets fired and whether it's with or without Lagway, and this offense just looks noticeably better? Like, is that a possibility here?
I mean, like you're saying, post Billy firing.
Yeah, like Russ Callaway is fully control the offense, or Steve Spurrier Jr., if you want to say that even.
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, I don't think, like, I'm not naive. I'm not saying an interim's going to come in and win 9 games somehow. But I think,
USF did this. Sorry. LSU did this. I mean, USF did this.
Yeah. Tulane did it to an extent.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think, look, I mean, how I feel about Billy Napier's scheme and play calling. I think it leaves a lot to be desired. So, yeah, could I be sold on, like, getting a guy like Russ Callaway who has air raid ties in? Could maybe add some new things to the table, make things a little easier on DJ, like quick completions, just get him comfortable and in rhythm? Yeah, sure, absolutely. Am I going to sit here and tell you that I think Florida is a former Samford OC away from being a nationally competitive team? Probably not. But I mean, yeah, I think making a change, I think in general, making change can kind of spur things and spur energy. And I think getting a new play caller in could certainly have that effect to an extent.
Our O-line is not what was projected. Too many mistakes. So I don't blame them too much in the run game because it's 8-man boxes. It's 8 versus 5. If you're not even including the tight ends, which tight ends have not been that good in this offense, including blocking wise this season. So I don't really go into too much about the offensive line. Pass blocking, I thought Blake Baker called a really good game, scheming up blitzes.
Yeah.
I'm no expert, so it's like when those blitzers come in unblocked, it's like I don't know how much of that's on the offensive line.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that's on the quarterback for not identifying the blitz or whatnot there, but I'll say it didn't feel like the offensive line was losing 1-on-1 when they were blocking. It felt like they were losing when there was either 8 players in the box and we can't run against it, or when a blitzer just came in untouched, which I'm not sure who that is to blame on.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was going to say basically is like I think LSU's defense is really good. They send a ton of pressure. They sent a lot of pressure in this game, a lot of like exotic blitzes and stuff like that. I don't know how much that's on the offensive line. I mean, I think part of that's got to be you got to know they're going to do that. You got to know they're going to put the pressure on DJ Lagway because of the way he's played so far this year. And you got to be scheming around it. And for whatever reason, it caused a lot of problems last night, obviously.
Can your O-line block Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor? I think they
Probably.
can. I'm more worried about
Yeah.
the blitzes. If you guys are going to be able to scheme up the blitzes, you got the Minnesota defense. What is his name? I'm forgetting his name, but is he known
Corey
for really going
Heatherman,
out there? Say
right?
it
Is that
again.
his name? Corey Heatherman. Isn't that his name?
That sounds familiar. Let me look this up real quick.
You're talking about the DC, right? You're talking about Miami's DC?
Yeah, Miami defensive coordinator. It is. Yeah, Corey Heatherman. That's right. Like, if they do, if he's going to be scheming up some blitzes like Blake Baker did, I'll say Blake Baker earned that second highest paid coordinator in the country in that game against LSU. But yeah, the O line had 5 holds. That is a true statement, but it's also like I feel like some of the holds we're getting called on are so weak.
Yeah,
and
I mean it's a problem, but it's like I don't know if it's like an existential one.
I don't know how much more we can do if these, because again, I watch so many games and there's so many games where refs aren't calling those little things, and then it feels like every time they're calling it on Florida. Like I mentioned the A&M game, there was a clear hold that was light as day, and they didn't even call that one. Like it, I'm not gonna say the refs are out to get us or anything, but like so many minor holding calls that were called on us, and there were a lot of penalties thrown in this Florida LSU game.
Yeah.
So it's not even like they were just favored against us. Like they're throwing a lot of flags, and our offensive linemen just a little too much, I guess, on the hold, and they threw them on us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you, like kind of what you were saying a second ago. Like, I don't think if you're rushing 4 against Florida, you're gonna have like a ton of success.
No.
But yeah, I think the blitzes are where you get into trouble, and especially with a quarterback who just isn't seeing things right now. Very easy to get in his head and force him to make mistakes.
Yeah, I'm not sure on this here, but the RBs have to pick up those blitzes. Yeah, that might be what's happening there. I have to go back and double check that, but I mean, that could very well be the problem. I felt like when it's one-on-one, our offensive linemen were doing as well as anyone in the country. Like, not many misses like that I can point out.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of Canes
Yeah, we got
fans
some
in the chat.
war going on in the comments right now.
Yes, that's cool.
I respect the energy from Miami fans, considering like I think most Florida fans here have kind of like given up on the season to an extent at this point. Yeah. I mean, it's certainly both. I mean, we're both talking about how we're gonna have a different head coach a week from 7 days from now. So I think we're both kind of there at this point.